Hi, Smitha ji.
Hi, hi Divya.
Hi. Hi, how are you?
I'm doing great. How are you?
I'm good too. So, welcome to Love is Cancer and ZenOnco.io.
Thank you.
Yeah, this is
Nice
a
to
cancer healing journey. Same here.
be.
This is a cancer healing journey where we invite speakers who have gone through cancer, maybe as patients, caregivers, or survivors, so that they can share their journey to inspire other cancer patients and caregivers.
Right,
So, thank you
that's
so
a
much.
wonderful initiative. I've read about it, and
Yeah.
it's great to speak about the journey as a caregiver.
Yeah, it inspires people who are on this journey.
Exactly. Yes.
Yeah. So could you please start with your journey, how it all started?
Yeah. So basically, my journey started in 2018.
Hmm.
So we are like a family of five, and my dad was the one who was diagnosed with cancer in
Okay.
2018 September.
Hmm.
So
Hmm.
this was the time when none of the children, so we are three daughters, none of the children were in the house. I had just left for my MBA in IIM Indore, and my sisters were both married. So we found out that dad had a grade 4 glioblastoma multiform.
Oh,
So that is
okay.
like a form of brain cancer.
Hmm.
So he had to have like a brain surgery almost immediately. We did not know it was cancer at that point in time. हमको बोला गया था कि ट्यूमर है निकालना है. So
Okay.
my sisters just flew in from Bombay and Bangalore respectively, and I could not be there because I had a very stressful schedule. तो मम्मी वाज लाइक कि ठीक है सब कोई बात नहीं ट्यूमर ही है सो डोंट टेक स्ट्रेस. तो वो मेरे को टेंशन नहीं देना चाह रही थी,
Yeah.
बट I knew something was off. So anyway, my sisters went there and he got the tumor removed. So the doctor was like, कि हमने tumor remove कर दिया है, but this diagnosis you will get after a week. कि है क्या चीज?
Hmm.
So after a week, I also came back home after everything at college. So after that, they said कि this is GBM, which is glioblastoma multiforme grade 4. That's what it's
Okay.
called,
Hmm.
this cancer. And we asked them कि we don't know anything about it. Like, could you just
Yeah.
tell us? So sometimes the doctors can be a little too blunt. So they were like कि आपके पास Google है ना? Google से check कर लो. And he did not want to tell us कि कितना serious form of वो है. So
Yeah.
we obviously checked on Google, and obviously he did explain it to us later on कि ये क्या क्या है. But we found out that it is a terminal form of cancer. So the doctor actually made us a graph कि ये आपका normal curve है, and 14 months is the median. कि this
Yes.
is how long people will survive. So
Okay.
that was how all of it started, and the treatment and the consultations with people in the US. And yeah, that's like a brief about how the journey started.
Okay. So what were the symptoms?
So, so basically with GBM4, it is not something, uh, it's not a stage-wise cancer. It is a
Okay.
graded cancer. So,
Hmm.
अगर वो tumor है आपके brain में, it is
Hmm.
either present as a grade 4 tumor or it is not there.
Okay.
So, in the weeks leading up to his diagnosis,
Hmm.
I was not here. My mom was here. So she was like कि तुम्हारे पापा चीजें भूल रहे थे कि अगर अभी कॉफी पिया तो he was like कि मेरी कॉफी कहाँ है? तो मम्मी बोली कि
Oh.
अभी तो तुमने पिया. तो
Hmm.
and there was a time when they had gone to attend a wedding, and
Hmm.
he found a corner and he just slept in that chair only. And my mom was like कि I don't know why he is acting like this. पता नहीं कुछ हुआ होगा, कुछ ऑफिस में किसी से झगड़ा हुआ होगा, शायद उनको लगा ये सब कुछ. बट देन शी कॉल्ड अप दैट्स कलीग कि डिड समथिंग हैपन. तो ही वाज लाइक नहीं ठीक ही लग रहे थे मतलब. देन ही केम एंड सो व्हेन यू टॉकिंग टू समवन एंड व्हेन यू नो दैट वो पर्सन तुम्हें देख तो रहा है बट तुम्हें एक्चुअली में देख नहीं रहा है. पापा की हालत
Yeah.
वैसी हो गई थी इन द वीक्स लीडिंग अप
Okay.
टू हिज डायग्नोसिस. सो दैट वाज वन मेजर सिम्टम. सो फिर एमआरआई कराया, देन दे फाउंड आउट कि ट्यूमर है. That is
Okay.
how it happened. Yeah.
So how you took this initial cancer diagnosis news?
Oh, okay. So it was actually quite unheard of because cancer सुना है family में, like extended family में सुना है.
Hmm.
But this one, brain cancer, grade 4,
Yes.
literally डर गए थे. Plus it was not good news. Like it wasn't something कि we could fight through it or we could do this and we could win. वो इनिशियली हमको सिर्फ स्टोरीज में सुना है ना कि यू कैन हैव दैट विल पावर एंड यू विल फाइट इट एंड you'll win it, but when it happens to you or your family member, the entire family is like कि now what types.
Yes.
So initially my sisters and I were the only ones who knew कि this is terminal. So my mom did not know, क्योंकि we did not want to tell her कि मम्मी से 14 महीने हैं. We didn't want her to give up jaldi se.
Yes.
So immediately after the diagnosis, I reached out to a friend whose mother underwent a similar form of cancer. Touch wood, she's still alive and she's doing great, and I'm very happy for him. And he was like कि ये सारे resources है, तू online जा, ये कर, ये तेरे को numbers दे रहा हूँ मैं. So thankfully I had people whom I could reach out to. I think हम लोग कैंसर सुनकर ना इतना डर जाते हैं कि हम पूछते ही नहीं है लोगों से कि क्या क्या resources है, क्या क्या कर सकते हैं हम. तो like it is very easy to give up, okay, obviously, and it is very easy to turn cynical कि अब तो बस सब कुछ खराब हो गया and all that. But fight तो करना ही पड़ेगा ना, good or bad. So we did that, and my sisters, like the way they stood up for my dad, like I can't say it enough, because they were both there when I was not, and they ran pillar to post. हर chemo के लिए, हर radiation के लिए जा रहे हैं. They try to not let emotions hinder their वो कि ये करना है, ये करना है, ये करना है. So they were like very methodical in it, and I will always be grateful to them. So yes, झटका लगा, but we knew we had to fight the fight, because अगर वो नहीं करेंगे, so like what is the entire even point of it, है ना? So like people will tell you कि ठीक है, कुछ chance नहीं survival का, but हम miracles के बारे में सुनते हैं ना. So to be that miracle, you have to try at least. So that was it.
So what treatment he underwent?
So initially there were 45 days of radiation after the surgery and diagnosis. So uske liye he had to go every day. So uske liye my mom went with him, and my uncle also went along with him. And uske baad chemo start ho gaya tha. So chemo was like a monthly affair. So that chemo was like a standard thing, for which my sisters would every month fly down from Bombay and Bangalore. And at that point in time, I was not there with him because मेरा MBA बहुत ही ज़्यादा hectic चल रहा था, and I literally used to cry in my hostel room कि I'm not there with my dad at that point in time when he actually needs us. But my sister stepped up, my mom stepped up, so that kind of treatment he underwent. And उसके बाद एक point के बाद ये हो गया था, which was 2019 में, हाँ 2019 में the doctor was like कि the tumor is stable, it is not growing, but the chemo is not really helping it. So also at the back of this entire treatment, my dad became like he started to forget things even more. So when the radiation tries to destroy those cancer cells, it also destroys the good cells kabhi. So because of that, he ended up forgetting a lot of things. कि मेरे passwords क्या है, and मैं किससे बात कर रहा हूँ. अगर मैं उनसे बोलूँ कि आपका पानी का ग्लास यहाँ पे रखा है, पी लो, तो he'll be like कि अच्छा क्या करना है मुझे इसके साथ. He would forget all that. He did not know how to brush his teeth anymore. And whenever I would call him from Indore कि कैसे हो पापा and all that, he'd be like मैं अच्छा हूँ, मैं अच्छा हूँ, मैं अच्छा हूँ. He would keep repeating the same thing over and over again. So his condition became worse and worse. He was walking, but he could not really comprehend anything. So that kind of became really bad. And उस time पे the doctor was like the chemo is not really helping him. So we'll have to increase the dosage. तो हमने dose बढ़ाया, and उससे क्या हुआ, उससे हाथ बहुत खराब हो गई पापा की. थोड़ा सा बढ़ाया था, and उससे what happened was that he became bedridden. He could not go to the washroom. We had to get a nurse, and we had to have help for every single thing. And my God, that was like a very, very bad month, because Delhi winters are very harsh, and my mom was alone here in Delhi taking care of him. She had a nurse, yes, during the day, but dad had become a child. So sometimes when you have like other forms of cancer, you know कि ऐसा कुछ हो रहा है, या तुम्हें पता होता है कि कुछ गलत हो रहा है. अब ऐसे इंसान को कैंसर है, उसको समझ में भी नहीं आ रहा मेरे साथ क्या हो रहा है. तुम उसको क्या एक्सप्लेन करोगे कि तुम बीमार हो? तुम भी तो एक्सप्लेन नहीं कर सकते उसको. एंड ही वुड फॉरगेट. बताया भी कि आप थोड़ा बीमार चल रहे हो, he'll forget the next 15 minutes. तो मम्मी की हालत बहुत बुरी हो गई थी उस टाइम पे, and we had to like literally clean him, because he would obviously end up going to the loo like on the bed only. So we had to clean everything, we had to get people. So that was a very, very, very hard time. And uske baad my mom decided कि मुझसे अकेले नहीं हो पा रहा है. So she and my dad, they decided to shift to Kerala, where we are from. So
Okay.
he decided to move to her parents' place, जहाँ पे she had her brothers and everything was पास. यहाँ पे सिटी में थोड़ा सा दूर होता है सब कुछ, तो वहाँ पे एवरीथिंग वाज लाइक पास एंड GBM 4 कैंसर है, इसका ट्रीटमेंट हर हॉस्पिटल में सेम ही है. लाइक दे ऑल नो कि इस पे सर्वाइवल का चांस नहीं है, तो हमें यही करने को है करके. सो दे फॉलो द स्टैंडर्ड प्रोटोकॉल एवरीवेयर. सो वी वर लाइक ठीक है, हॉस्पिटल फाइनलाइज करा हमने केरला में, जहाँ पे मॉम लेके जा सके पापा को, सारे डॉक्यूमेंट्स वहाँ पे ट्रांसफर कराए एंड शी वाज देयर. एंड all during this time, the chemo ka thing also continued, but my older sister and my middle sister, so they decided that there are other things also which you can do apart from chemo to improve the quality of life. Like chemo is just to remove the bad cells, right?
Yes.
But if the person is literally not able to have a good quality of life, then what is the point of the chemo? What is the point of elongating his life just for the sake of it, right?
Yeah.
So we did a lot of research. Last 2 years पे research में निकाली है कि क्या क्या supplements हो सकते हैं जो डॉक्टर्स यहाँ पे शायद प्रिस्क्राइब नहीं करते, तो वो सारे मंगवाए हमने. यूएस से कुछ मंगवाए, कुछ इंडिया में ही मिल रहे थे, वो सब कुछ करवाया मेरी बहनों ने. लाइक hats off to them the way they did it, and my mother of course. So उन्होंने वो सब कुछ किया to ease dad's pain, कि उन्हें दर्द ना हो. So वो सब कुछ करवाया. And then 2020, this year was the year when, like December में, the tumor had kind of spread and the cancer had spread to his spine as well. So the doctor was like, we can try one last thing, which is like even a very strong form of chemo. It's called Avastin, and like we can try it. वो 1 महीना exactly try किया. हालत बहुत खराब हो गई पापा की, and he could not walk, he could not talk, he had seizures, and it was we could see life go out of him, and it was very hard. So we realized that let us spend whatever time we have being happy with him instead of putting him through so many treatments. So after debating with the family, after having discussions, all of us decided that we would stop the treatment now because it already spread. So whatever days we had, we spent talking to dad. Like उन्हें समझ तो नहीं आ रहा था उन्हें क्या बोल रहे हैं, but he tried smiling. He loved old Hindi music, so we played that for him. And all in this background, there were hard days. There were nights when my mom had to stay up for the entire night and clean him because इंसान से उठा नहीं जा रहा, बोला भी नहीं जा रहा कि मेरे को वॉशरूम जाना है. तो he would just like soil the bed, and we had to again change the bed sheets. So there were nights of that also, but the days we tried to speak to him and to make him like comfortable and be like कि अब और treatment नहीं करेंगे. And after all this, I think April 2nd was the night when he passed away. So that morning was the time when he passed away. And so it was like a long 19-month journey, but ठीक है, I know we already knew what was going to happen, but I'm glad that we as a family did not give up starting May. Like I said, it is very easy to be cynical ki everything is fucked up, everything is ruined, and what is the point of even trying? What is the point of having faith and prayers? And I still turn cynical kabhi कि मैं ये सब कुछ क्यों कर रही हूँ, हमने इतना कुछ करा and still we could not save dad. But I think we still have to fight the battle, because if you really want to be the miracle, you have to at least give it a chance, right? And and one thing which we all learned was to ask for help. Like it's people will help you out, like in whatever capacity they can be. I think we don't say it enough. Everyone around you will rally around you if you give them a chance. So
yeah. So like, first of all, heads up to your courage, because it's really very easy to just go into that negative zone. But it's hard to be mentally stable and look forward to what we had to do next.
Exactly.
So it really takes courage.
Thank you so
heads
much.
up to your courage.
I mean, it's all my family. The way they conducted the research, they were not really. So there were people who were like, "Chemo क्यों करा रहे हो? मत कराओ." Starting May. So we were like, "कि कोशिश तो करनी है ना. Like we can't simply give up." So
Yeah. So you were doing your MBA that time, right?
yes, I was doing my MBA.
Yeah. So you were alone preparing for your MBA away from your father.
Yeah.
And you knew about the lifespan that doctor said, that 14 months. So
Yes.
you were all alone without any support, like apart from your friends. There might be very friends for you.
Yeah.
So how you emotionally handle all these things?
I did not handle it very well, to be honest, because the thing is that I wanted to do all those things which my sisters were doing, and I wanted to be there. But hamare like IIM, they had this attendance ka thing, the mandatory thing, and all that. My mom was like, "We are handling just fine," but I knew it wasn't going to be easy for them. And I remember I spent nights crying in the hostel room. Uh, I was just like crying. I did not know what to do. So I obviously, again, I reached for help. I talked to a therapist. I told her I'm going through all these things, and I spoke with her, and I made sure I was speaking to dad, because the thing is कि we end up not involving the person who is going through this. हमको लगता है कि इसको समझ में नहीं आएगा, छोड़ो. Like it was very easy for, especially in our case, it was very easy कि चलो ठीक है, पापा को समझ में वैसे भी नहीं आ रहा है, बताने का क्या पॉइंट है उनको. But we would tell him कि पापा ये दवाई आपको इसलिए खानी है. उनको समझ में शायद से नहीं आ रहा था. But we made sure we were talking to him. And even on phone, I would be like, पापा आपने खाना खाया, मम्मी की बात सुन रहे हो ना? He had turned like a baby, but I was making sure that I was speaking to him, because it's important to involve the person, not only to cry with them, to laugh with them.
Yes.
So yeah, I made sure I was speaking to dad every day, at like twice at least every day. उन्हें समझ में आ रहा है नहीं आ रहा फर्क नहीं पड़ता, उनकी आवाज सुनना जरूरी है, उनको हमारी आवाज सुनाना जरूरी है. So yeah.
Welcome.
Yeah.
Yeah. So for your mother too, it might be very, very tough, even after April too. So how she is handling herself, and she handled herself in that journey too.
So she is like literally an iron lady, okay? I mean, she is someone who has probably outdone everyone in terms of the care she has given to my dad in the last 2 years. I mean, I cannot imagine someone who has been handled so much alone. Like, घर पे कोई भी नहीं था. And the way she went about doing it, without complaining, even for a single second, कि क्यों हो रहा है ये मेरे साथ, कभी भी नहीं पूछा है. And my mom is someone who has extreme faith. Like I am agnostic, atheist, जो भी बोल लो, कि I don't really believe in all that. But my mom has extreme faith, and she was like कि वो ये नहीं बोली कि बचा लेंगे भगवान, ये नहीं बोली, वो कभी भी नहीं बोली. She was like कि I just want my husband to have a good quality of life, and to that end, I'll try my level best. And whenever my dad needed help, उठने बैठने में, सफाई में, so my dad was someone who believed in living a life with total dignity. मेरे को याद है, like 5 years ago, he'd be like कि he would wear only the best perfumes, be like tip top, हमेशा अच्छे से ड्रेस करके जाते थे. And he would tell me कि श्वेता मुझे कभी ऐसी लाइफ नहीं जीनी है कि लोग मेरे लिए कुछ कर रहे हो, मैं उठ नहीं पा रहा. And he used to tell me all this पहले. अब मुझे याद आती सारी बातें उनकी. And my mom knew कि dad is someone who wants to live a life of dignity. So she made sure that the nurse was also treating him properly, कि सफाई अच्छे से हो रही है, that the person might not be 100% there, but make sure that he is living a good life. So she never, not once has she complained. And my God, how has that woman like literally carried her the last 2 years? Hats off to her. Like even after April 2020, there have been months, there are nights when we all cry together, or where we don't know why it happened, because of course there's no answer to that, right? But I think she still has faith, she still has prayers with her, and we make sure we're talking to her at all times, at all periods, at all points in time. So that really helps her. Plus at the back of her mind, she knew कि मैंने कुछ कमी नहीं छोड़ी है. Like we did all what we could. We literally fought the fight. Whatever there was to fight, we literally did that. And now I think she's coming back to life. So yeah, it will take time. Obviously, it's going to be 1 year already in April, but this year has like been a blur. But I think it like jitna bhi cliched hota hai ye cheez, but time does heal things, I guess.
Yeah, correct. So there were many things going around with you, your sisters, your mother. So there might be episodes of anger and frustration, and कभी ऐसा feel हुआ होगा कि it's too much to handle.
Of
So
course, of
how
course.
you manage such conditions?
बहुत बार हुआ है, like with multiple people. Like there was a time when my sister had taken dad to the hospital, and because of this cancer, he was very angry at all times. तो एक बार उन्होंने मेरी बहन का फोन उठा के फेंक दिया, तो वो टूट गया. And my sister got really frustrated because वो काम भी कर रही थी हॉस्पिटल में, पापा को लेकर भी आई थी कीमो के लिए. And she was like, पापा ऐसा क्यों कर रहे? She burst into tears, and then she was like, I knew that there are two ways to go about it. Either I can start crying and like blame the destiny or whatever, or I can just be my normal self, and that's what she chose to be. And so, and I just think it's down to how you choose to react to that situation. Like I could not handle it as well as my sisters did. Like I remember जब मैं मार्च में थी मम्मी पापा के साथ लास्ट ईयर 2020 में, तो देयर वाज दिस टाइम मैंने मम्मी को बोला कि मम्मी आप ना सो जाओ, बहुत हो गया है, आपने बहुत लाइक रात भर वो कर लिया है, अब मैं करूंगी. तो आई वाज लाइक मम्मी का ठीक, आर यू श्योर तुम कर पाओगी? मैंने कहा हाँ मैं ट्राई तो करूंगी. तो फिर लाइक 9 बजे आई वाज लाइक कि ठीक है आप सोने चले जाओ, दे स्लीप अर्ली. सो दे वेंट आफ्टर स्लीप. मैं वैसे भी 12 बजे तक जगती हूँ. सो आई स्टार्ट क्लीनिंग. आई न्यू कि पापा डेफिनेटली बेडशीट पापा का खराब होगा ही होगा, ठीक है. So I had like a lot of bed sheets packed, like, and Papa के diapers and everything was there. And Papa diaper नहीं पहनना पसंद करते थे. वैसे कि मेरी dignity, like he knew कि कुछ तो हो रहा है जो मेरे को पसंद नहीं है, तो he would totally reject it. And I had to treat him like a baby. And गुस्सा नहीं होना था उन पर. तो and I am someone who can get angry. And I was like, Smitha, you have to treat him like a baby. Like he treated you when you were a kid. So it is your turn now. Correct. So I changed the bed sheets multiple times, and 4 बज गए थे रात के, and मैं वही कर रही थी. And डैड को समझ में नहीं आ रहा, मैं उनको कुछ बोल भी नहीं सकती. And then I just started crying out of all of a sudden. I know I shouldn't have cried, not in front of him, because he was awake. And मेरे को था कि शायद पापा को समझ में नहीं आएगा मैं रो रही हूँ, तो क्योंकि उनको वैसे भी समझ नहीं आ रही है चीजें. तो but he understood I was crying, and he woke up and he started crying with me. And I felt so bad at that time. I was like, I should have handled myself better. But yes, there have been times when we were like super angry at each other, at dad, at God, at the concept of God. ऐसा क्यों हो रहा है? But I think at the end of it, we all came through, like at least as a family. But for dad, and we rallied around, and like we tried everything there was to try.
And that is your satisfaction now, I think.
I guess I see we lost him. That is going to be a big loss always. But the only satisfaction could probably be that we tried everything to ease his pain. So we did not say कि डॉक्टर जो भी करना है करो. बहुत ट्राई किया, 19 महीने ट्राई किया, उसके बाद भी नहीं हो रहा था. तो वी वर लाइक इट्स फाइन, वी डोंट वांट टू गिव पेन टू द पेशेंट. सो वो भी इम्पोर्टेंट होता है. कभी कभी हम लोग अपने लाइफ की लेंथ के लिए अपनी सेल्फिशनेस में आकर वी से कि जो करना है करो, बट हमें वो बंदा चाहिए, which is not fair. I think sometimes we need to let go of our own selfishness. We need to be more considerate towards the person, because the person is going through hell and it was not fair. So towards the end, we were like, it's fine. Like he has gone through a lot. We have tried a lot. Now the story is about us facing life, minus him, yes, but facing it all the same. Like itna bada battle fight kiya hai, so might as well live whatever life has to offer. So
so like as a family, आपने बोला कि आपने उनके साथ रहने की और अच्छी मेमोरीज क्रिएट करने की कोशिश की थी एंड टाइम पर. So as a family, how you used to create those memories with each of you?
So my dad used to sing a lot of Hindi songs. Like उनको प्यार था पुराने हिंदी गानों से, like मोहम्मद रफी and बहुत सारे singers हैं. Like I have all those recordings. So my dad loved to sing and he used to record, and diagnosis के पहले he used to send me all these recordings कि and he'd be like कि सुनो इसको, और मुझे पता है कि मैं क्या क्या improve कर सकता हूँ इसमें, and I'm like पापा फिर मैं बहुत काम है अभी नहीं कर सकती, तो मैं कम सुनती थी, सारा सुनती नहीं थी। फिर 2018 के बाद ये हुआ कि पापा ने ऑब्वियसली गा ही नहीं पाए, कुछ नहीं कर पाए, उनको फिर इतना बुरा लगता था। फिर उसके बाद मैंने सारी रिकॉर्डिंग्स सुनी, फिर से सब कुछ सुना एंड पापा को सुनाया कि पापा देखो ये सारे गाने हैं, एंड उनको समझ में नहीं आ रहा था। बट यू नो ह्यूमन मेमोरी एंड ब्रेन इज एन अमेजिंग थिंग, लाइक उनको समहाउ वर्ड्स याद थे एंड उनको ट्यून्स याद थी, एंड आई थिंक व्हेन यू रियली लव समथिंग ना, यू even in the worst of times you end up remembering only the good things, like music was for him, and we used to like papa ko yaad hai sab kuch to gao aap, so we used to play the song and he used to hum along with it and he used to remember all those words. मैं बोला कि भाई साहब मैं चीजें वैसे पापा को याद नहीं आ रही है बट ये वाली मेमोरी पापा की अच्छी है, so we used to sing along and he used to love kadai paneer and dal makhani, so we made sure my mom would make it and we would like, पहले था कि डॉक्टर बस कि सब कुछ खाना नहीं है, सब कुछ कम कर देना है एंड कुछ भी गंदा नहीं खाना है, बट टुवर्ड्स द एंड वी वर लाइक कि लेट द पर्सन एंजॉय व्हाट ही एक्चुअली लाइक्स टू डू। सो जब लास्ट का एक हफ्ता था तो अच्छा खाना बनाया ताकि उनको अच्छा लगे, एंड सो इट इज इम्पोर्टेंट टू लिव लाइफ। आई डोंट लाइक व्हेन पीपल से कि हमारी जिंदगी रुक गई, रुक तो जाती है बट पॉज बटन हिट नहीं होना चाहिए, राइट? सो you need to live along with them, they are still here, right? So live. I think we really try to live, if that answers your question.
Yes, correct. So you took that courage and decided to stop his treatment, but there are people जो ये accept नहीं कर पाते because accepting such things is really very difficult. So according to you, how they can manage these things and accept it and make this decision?
To be honest, it's a very, very hard decision because so even when we decided to stop, it was after multiple consultations with many doctors, and it was not a split second decision. We spoke like immediate family, we sat down and we spoke to each other, and when you can clearly see the patient is not in a good condition क्या, उनकी बहुत बुरी हालत हो रही है and उनको नहीं पता उनके साथ हो क्या रहा है, तो then the only logical step is to stop the treatment. But then again, it depends from cancer to cancer. I am not someone who can really, I cannot pretend to be an expert on it when I don't know, but it would still be wise to talk to doctors, but to also be mindful of what the patient is going through. Which patients will be like very, very, they'll have amazing willpower. They'll be like, I will fight the fight. I'll do it. So of course you keep going. But when you can see the person is near to being in a coma, they can't speak, they can't do anything. Is it really worth going on? Like what are we trying to achieve here? Are we trying to just prove to ourselves कि नहीं हमने बहुत पैसे खर्च दिए and हम कुछ महीने और उनको वो कर पाए? What is the point of it? थोड़ी dignity ना death में भी होनी चाहिए. So that is at least my point of view. But then again, we are nobody to decide. But I think they should be mindful of everything, like doctors' consultations and the patient. These are the only two entities which should matter, and not the world.
Correct. Yeah. So for your father too, it was very, very, very difficult physically to handle that treatment, and mentally too, उन्हें बहुत कुछ याद नहीं रह रहा था, and what is going around him. So वो भी बहुत frustrated हुए होंगे बहुत बार इस जर्नी पर.
बहुत बार. So sometimes उनको पता तो नहीं था कि मेरे साथ क्या हो रहा है, but sometimes you be like कि मुझे like I can't remember Smitha, I can't remember, I don't know. Like उनके ना कुछ शब्द रह गए थे जो उनके पास रह गए थे उनके vocabulary में बस. Like I don't know, how are you? सिर्फ उनके पास यही शब्द रह गए थे. बाकी सब कुछ वो भूल रहे थे धीरे धीरे. वो उनका मदर टंग इज मलयालम और like Tamil, both of these languages he used to speak. He was forgetting some things and उनको सिर्फ कुछ शब्द याद थे, and he would get so frustrated कि मैं बता नहीं पा रहा जो मुझे बोलना है, and वो बात ही नहीं कर पा रहे थे. Like he knows he wants something, he'll be like कि मेरे को ना वो चाहिए वो, and we be like कि क्या चाहिए, and he'll be like कि अरे जो वो होता है मतलब उन्हें नहीं याद था, and he would get so angry at himself, and we had to decipher his language कि अच्छा he is thinking of this, उनको ये खाने का मन है, या he's saying this. We had to like connect the dots, and we had to think for him because he was forgetting से भी ज्यादा he was not finding the correct words. So वो करना was a challenge, and even for him, like I can't imagine what dad must have felt in the last 2 years of his life. मतलब like every day you wake up you remember less. Like can you imagine living that life? मतलब it is very difficult for me to even imagine what the man went through. So I know he was
like you are completely lost and confused.
Exactly. मतलब तुम्हें खुद पता ही नहीं, you know something is happening to you, but like imagine ना कि तुम्हें पता है कि तुम्हारे यहाँ पे एक ग्लास पानी का रखा हुआ है, बट तुम्हें पता नहीं कि तुम्हें करना क्या है उसके साथ. वैसे थॉट प्रोसेस पे तुम थे, उनको समझ में नहीं आ रहा था कि सिर्फ बोलने के साथ साथ the logic flow was also breaking for him. So the brain is it's literally an amazing thing, and the kind of things it can do if it is functioning well is insane. And if the brain stops to work, then you literally are like lost in the sense of the term. So
yeah, and to connect that dots and understand what he is trying to say needs a lot of understanding between you and your dad. And a very strong bond to understand his condition.
Which is why I think it's very important to talk to the person. Like I keep like repeating this point, but if you talk to them, you actually know what they're trying to say. It is like sign language, you know, after a certain point in time. And it's like talking to a baby. हम बच्चों से कैसे बात करते हैं कि वो हमको जेस्चर से बताते हैं, या वो हमको कुछ कुछ करके इंडिकेट करते हैं कि मुझे ये चीज चाहिए. पापा से भी वही हो गया था, एंड बहुत पेशेंस सीखा है, बहुत ज्यादा पेशेंस सीखा है लास्ट 2 साल में. मतलब एज समवन हु यूज्ड टू बी शॉर्ट टेम्पर्ड, आई हैव लर्नड अ लॉट ऑफ पेशेंस. सो माय मॉम में और सिस्टर्स में तो हमेशा से था बहुत भर भर के, बट मेरे में बिल्कुल नहीं था. बट वो तो सीखा है पापा के साथ. हाँ.
सो इस कैंसर जर्नी से एज अ केयर गिवर आपने और क्या क्या सीखा है? बिकॉज हम लाइफ में किसी भी डिफिकल्ट सिचुएशन से निकलते हैं तो बहुत कुछ सीखने को मिलता है हमें. सो व्हाट आर योर लेसन्स?
My biggest lesson would be that it was important to try. In hindsight, like it just feels like I after we lost him I felt very defeated. Okay, but then I just felt कि अगर नहीं करते तो क्या करते, मतलब was there any other option but to try? So there was not, right? So we have to try, like whatever the end goal may be. And second thing was that even though I was not the immediate caregiver, my mom was, I learned that it is very important for you to support those caregivers. Like if you are someone जिसके family में किसी को cancer है, if you're not the person who's actually doing to cleaning them and everything, it is very important for you to be empathetic. Like if you can actually feel what your mom or your dad, whoever is feeling, and like imagine now that the person is losing his mind. My dad was losing his mind, and my mom was in this house with him. And तुम सिर्फ 2 लोग हो, और उनमें से एक सही से काम नहीं कर रहा है, like ढंग से, as in उसका दिमाग नहीं चल रहा है and all that. The other person also tends to धीरे-धीरे become very frustrated. So we have to make sure that we are not only giving willpower and courage to the patient, but also to the caregiver, to the primary caregiver. So I understood, like चला भी cliche लगा है, I actually understood what it is to be in that situation where the other person's life is totally dependent on you. So I was able to appreciate my mother and my sisters on a different level altogether, literally. And I will like be ever so grateful to them for, I mean, I have a new respect for my family. So I think as a family, we really, really came together. We became closer. So I think that journey made us a lot more stronger as a unit. And of course, there were things like patience, courage, and kindness. So सुनने में अच्छा लगता है सब कुछ, but actually में you learn all of this to be nicer to people. And one biggest thing was जितना भी हम movies में सुनते हैं ना कि अभी जी लो जिंदगी types की बात का किसने देखा है, actually में वो सच है, पता है. There's a reason why it is written in movies, because my dad used to always be like कि मैं अभी कुछ नहीं करूंगा स्मिता, मैं अभी किसी वेकेशन पे नहीं जाऊंगा, अभी मैं काम करूंगा, मैं जब रिटायर होऊंगा तब मैं सब कुछ पक्का से करूंगा, ठीक है, मैं गाड़ी भी तब खरीदूंगा, एंड मैं यूएस भी तब जाऊंगा, घूमने भी तब जाऊंगा। मैं वैसे कि पापा अभी कर लो, लाइक यू कैन अफोर्ड इट एंड वी आर ओके, वी डूइंग वेल ओनली, यू कैन, you and mom should go. And 2018 mein he was diagnosed and he was 58 at the time, and he would have retired in 2020. And the year he should have retired, he died, and none of the things he wanted to do he was able to do. He could not buy a car, like we had a car, he wanted to get a bigger car, तो नई गाड़ी तो नहीं आई, पुरानी गाड़ी बेच दी हमने क्योंकि कोई चलाने वाला नहीं था, and he could not travel, he could not see the world. तो literally I feel I cannot put off living to later point in time. Like even when the diagnosis does happen na, like it's important to live, it's just very important to not pause living, like don't pause, everything stops, I understand, but just like please do find a way to live through the day. Yeah. And don't push your dreams away. Like जितना भी बहुत ज्यादा मेरे को ये लगता है कि बॉलीवुड टाइप है, बट सच है, सच्ची में सच है, जी अभी जी लो. So yeah.
Yes, you don't know what next moment hold for you.
I legit don't know. It could be cancer. It could be as like common as a car accident. You don't know how you're going to die. You literally don't know. It sounds very like बहुत ही profound लग रहा है, but सच ही तो है यार. So yeah, like live in the present.
Yes. So what was your support system? Like आप as a family तो साथ में थे, but as relatives, doctors, so what was your support system in that matter?
My dad's best friend, he was an angel. He made sure कि पापा के ऑफिस के काम से संभाले जा रहे हैं, ऐसे जो भी एडमिनिस्ट्रेटिव काम होता है, इंश्योरेंस का. He used to work for WHO, my dad, and like a lot of paperwork made life easy for us. So that paperwork was completed by his friend. And उसके अलावा this person I was referring to earlier, my friend whose mom has the same cancer, and he came as an angel too. Like he showed us resources which we could not find anywhere else. So that was like one good point of contact. And of course the doctors were there. I will admit that there were times when the doctors were too blunt with us, that they were like कि कोई फायदा नहीं है ना types. Like उन्होंने बोला नहीं directly, but समझ में आ रहा था उनके एक्शन से कि they only tried where they knew कि chance है survival का. But sometimes like I did hold it against them बीच में for a certain point in time, but then I was like कि ठीक है, उनको होना पड़ता है शायद से blunt, उनकी भी गलती नहीं है. तो ठीक है, it was like learning to forgive them also. But yeah, we had a good support system. I know that we were lucky in the terms कि our finances were good, the office took care of most of it. सब लोग इतने lucky नहीं होते हैं, so we have to be grateful for the minor things also. So yeah.
And what will be your message to cancer patients and caregivers watching this video?
It would be to fight the fight. You really don't, the cancer patients or cancers, these are not just data points, they're not just statistics. There are people who are outliers in this journey who will be miracles, but to be that person you will have to fight, and you have to try, because there is no other way. Like there's literally no other way, you have to try.
It was really very inspiring talking to you. Thank you so much for sharing your journey and your learnings with us.
It was great talking to you too, Divya. I'm more than happy to talk about it.
Same here.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Okay, bye-bye.
Bye.